Welcome to Muskegon Rotary. I'm Jason Pisecki. We've got an action-packed meeting today. We will be getting an update on the Muskegon Winter Sports Complex. We'll start our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Then we'll have a reflection from Meredith Smiley. We'll do our Rotary trivia and introduce our visiting Rotarians and guests, as well as have a special club announcement. Today, we're going to do a resolution, so you all are going to be able to participate in that. And then we'll do the four-way test at the end of the meeting. So let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. All right, you can be seated. Now, before we get into our Rotary business, since you just sat down, are there any veterans in the room today? If there is, could you please stand and be recognized? Any veterans in our Rotary Club? Thank you. Thank you for your service and happy Veterans Day. I'll have our reflection with Meredith Smiley.
So today's reflection is actually based on it being Veterans Day, and I do have a very special veteran in my family, my father, who served during Vietnam. So this is based on Romans chapter 13. Pay to all what is owed to them, respect to whom respect is owed, honor to whom honor is owed. Over the years, men and women of the United States Armed Forces have served and sacrificed much for our country. Patriotic and proud, members of the military have willingly and often unwillingly laid down their lives to protect and defend in wartime and in peace the Constitution of the United States of America and all its freedoms. In America, you have religious freedom to attend a church of your choosing. You're permitted to own a Bible or several. In this nation, you may choose to marry or not, to vote or not vote. You have the right to free speech and the right to peacefully assemble. These freedoms have been defended and protected by the members of our military. Today, on November 11th, Veterans Day, we celebrate the great gratitude all who have served or are currently serving in the armed forces. Today, we give honor to whom it's due, all of our military veterans. Take time to pause, reflect, and pray for our veterans and their families. Thank God for all those He's called to serve. Ask Him to cover them with His hand of protection. If you are a veteran, wherever you are placed, whatever position you had or hold, you are highly esteemed and valued. Thank you.
Thanks, Meredith. Before we break for lunch, I've got a throwback trivia for everyone today. Can anyone name the members of the vaunted Muskegon Rotary Club luge team? Do we have any lugers in the room? Nancy Crandall, Susan Meston, Linda Juarez Garzaloni, Tracy Lorenz, Dave Alexander. You guys are good. I heard Gary Nealon, yes. And the last one, I did see him in the lobby. I don't know if he made it in here. John Snyder. So those are the members of the Rotary Luge team who did the death-defying luge league out at the track. So everyone enjoy lunch, and we'll be back in about 5-6 minutes for our visiting Rotarians and student guests. Rotarians and guests and our student guests. So Marcia Hovey-Wright, Tom Ludwig, and Chip Chipman, if you could come up with your guests, and Marty, if you could come on up with the student guests as well. So the way that this works is the Rotarian will introduce their guest. Guests, don't worry, you don't have to say anything. You just have to stand here and look presentable for the 20 people that we have on Zoom. So we got a good crowd, probably I'd say a combined 90 plus here this week for our Rotary meeting. So Marcia, Tom, and Chip. Marcia is first in line. Slide on over, Marcia.
Oh, hey, will you check? Okay. All right, I think we're in the right place. So I have today again, this week, Marjorie Jones, who is my neighbor and decides to come back and just ask me, how do I get to be a member? So and whoever's membership chair while Orville is out, let me know. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ken. My good friend, John Manchester, had a very interesting business, a bag company, making all these different bags for the different products going out there. We lived together in Harbor Town. We boat together, and I just wanted to come and see what Rotary was all about. Can we say a few words?
No words.
Hi, everyone. I'm Chip Chipman, and I brought with me Sabrina. Many of you may know her. She's actually a former Rotarian here, and she started working with me probably about a month ago. We got to chatting about different things, and your daughters are in Interact too, right? Yeah. So just wanted to bring her on and yeah, reintroduce her Rotary.
Two oldest daughters that were interactors, and this club has done a lot for. One is a junior at University of Michigan, that's Annika Lindsay, and then Isabella is a sophomore at the University of Pennsylvania. And I got two at North Muskegon still.
Mike, do you want Marty to use this mic?
Hello, Rotary. Please join me in welcoming our friends from Holton High School. All right, to introduce two of their seniors is Adam Bain. He is the superintendent at the high school.
Thanks, Marty. Good afternoon. Thanks again for hosting two of our reasons why schools are doing outstanding things and amazing things. I've been reminded a number of times that this year in particular is a job that people apparently wouldn't be interested in, but these two definitely are two reasons why I love my job. So I'm happy to introduce our co-valedictorians, Robert and Gracie.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Robert Norton. I go to Holton High School, and there I do track. I run the 800. I do pole vault, and I throw discus. I'm a part of the Quiz Bowl team. I'm the president of NHS, and I help around the community by doing junior firefighters and all that kind of stuff. And I'm hoping to go to U of M. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, I plan to go to U of M for aerospace engineering. So.
Hi, I'm Gracie. I also go to Holton High School. I'm currently in track, which I run the 2 mile and the 1 mile during that. I'm in student council and NHS as well. I'm finishing up my early college program through MCC, and then I'm heading off to ASU to study criminology and get a master's in it.
All right.
Impressive as always. Okay, on to our program. Jay Wallace is going to introduce our presenter today. Jay?
Good afternoon. Jim Rudisil. He stands at the forefront of Muskegon's fast-growing outdoor recreation and sports tourism industry. He is most known as the executive director of the Muskegon Sports Council, the not-for-profit organization operating the Muskegon Luge Adventure Sports Park. His phone is ringing right now. Can you please silence your cell phones for the presentation? Under Jim's leadership, over the past 23 years, the complex has emerged as a significant Midwestern year-round outdoor recreation destination, attracting tens of thousands of visitors each year. During the past 5 years, Rudisil has focused his energies on transforming the complex into into a year-round recreational outdoor recreation sports facility. Most notably, leading the effort to raise over $2 million to build out new summer venue attractions, having raised over $500,000 to date and overseeing construction of the phase 1 of the new Canopy Trail of the park. He is past board chair of the Muskegon County Tourism ATAC Committee and currently a board member of the Muskegon Lakeshore Chamber of Commerce. In the summer months, Rudisil also serves as harbor master at Harbortown Marina, one of Michigan's premier marina developments in Michigan. Rudisil has been a lifelong Muskegon County resident and resides in North Muskegon with his wife and children and his new Wolf Range. His favorite outdoor recreation activities, it has like a griddle built into the top of it. You can make bacon right on it. It's amazing. I want one. His favorite outdoor recreation activities are luge and snowshoeing in the winter and biking, kayaking, and now zip lining in the summer. Please join me in welcoming our very own Jim Rudisil.
Thank you, Jay. Good afternoon, Rotarians. It's been a while since I've been back, and I'd just like to remind you that the last time I was here, I think that was 2-3 years ago. Hard to remember with the COVID thing, but I had mentioned that I had heard that you were the most powerful group in Muskegon, and we did a little dance about, and we sang "Let It Snow," and amazingly enough, the next day it snowed. So I owe you a big thanks for that, and I appreciate that, right? Yeah. So anyways, we're having a lot of fun out there in that little patch of woods at Muskegon State Park, and I'm honored to continue the big job of providing outdoor winter recreation and now summer recreation to folks in Muskegon County and visitors alike. So I serve as the executive director for the Muskegon Sports Council. We are the governing body of the Muskegon Luge Adventure Sports Park, formerly known as the Muskegon Winter Sports Complex. So 37 years ago, community leaders came out with this idea to build this winter sports facility to, for economic development, keeping folks healthy and happy in the dark winter months. So in 2015, we came out with a new plan called Many Reasons for All Seasons. And I gave you a big update on that last time. We kind of unveiled what that was all about. We've done a lot of work on that since. And I'm going to share some of that with you, as well as some other initiatives that I'm working on in collaboration with the Muskegon Lakeshore Chamber of Commerce, an initiative called Taking It Outdoors. And we have a lot of exciting and wonderful things happening in Muskegon County, and not just at the winter sports complex, now known as the Adventure Sports Park. It's really hard to transfer over to that. So anyways, I wanted to just touch on some of the some of the news that's happening in outdoor recreation in Muskegon County. And there's more than this, but these are some of the highlights that our Taking It Outdoors Committee has learned about and identified as some project priorities. So the Muskegon Chamber has updated the Watch Muskegon website with the great art and great outdoors. If you've not seen the video that was produced by Dan Bonner, talking about a day in Muskegon and his experience here in enjoying and living in the Muskegon area, be sure to check that out at the Chamber's website and the Watch website. There's a new bike trail in Norton Shores along the Lake Harbor Drive to connect Lake Harbor Park and Northern Ottawa County Bike Path. There's the new Little Black Creek Trail. There's the new 322-acre Dune Harbor Park on the former Nugent Sand property. Partial property closing end of this year. Full park property acquired and open to the public in spring and early summer of 2023. I would just like to add a side note that I really appreciate the visionaries at our county administration, Mark Eisenbarth, Bob Lukens, Caitlin Hegedus, for taking on this initiative. It was what an awesome piece of property that's going to become into perpetuity in Muskegon County for all of us to enjoy. So big hands off. Once in a lifetime opportunity. So that is huge. Currently, the county is in the process of studying and identifying regional trail and connector needs and maintenance funds. The Muskegon Lake Nature Preserve has just completed a large construction project reconnecting the lagoon to Muskegon Lake. That project's nearly complete. If you know where that's at, it's just as you turn in off the causeway into North Muskegon. It's on your left-hand side there, and it's remarkable, you know, how they've progressed there. The Mosquito Creek Trails, wow, what an awesome addition. Again, partnership with the county and a nonprofit organization, much like ours, our arrangement with the state of Michigan. They've built out an incredible 7.5 miles of trails there with a total investment of $400,000 in this place. I don't know if you've been there. I've tried to go a couple of times, and you're parking down the street. There's small parking lots overwhelmed most weekends. And folks are coming from all over the state to enjoy this new bike trail out there. The construction of the new expanded Water Dog Outfitters in Whitehall. If you've seen this building going up, it's really remarkable. The Muskegon Lakeshore Paddle Club, they're planning a large competitive paddleboard race with the spinoff events activities for 2023. This is going to be over on Mona Lake, a big event attracting folks from across the country. So, and I'm most excited about this piece. Senator Bumstead has recently introduced 4 bills into the legislature to inject $1 billion into Michigan's parks, into the infrastructure, $500,000 into state park infrastructure. Well, $500,000 to state parks, $250 million into infrastructure, current infrastructure maintenance needs at the parks, and then $250 million to infill the state parks endowment trust fund that will help maintain our parks well into the future. So this would complement the Natural Resources Trust Fund dollars. So anyways, a lot of exciting things happening. Certainly, I've been doing the rallying call for a long time about outdoor recreation in Muskegon County, and it's so refreshing and awesome to see the enthusiasm in Muskegon County. So anyways, we're going to move along here. I'm getting the signal that I've got to stay on track. So again, we have been taking it outdoors for, we're going to move to the next slide. Our organization has been taking it outdoors for the last 37 years. And, you know, we're situated in an amazing piece of real estate, a 1,300-acre state park on the shore of Lake Michigan. You couldn't ask for a better situation. Our venues, we have a 400-acre land lease area. This is a no-fee lease that we enjoy with the Department of Natural Resources. They allow us to use this land and build facilities. And when we build a facility, a new infrastructure, we gift it to the state of Michigan. And then we have the opportunity to operate it under this lease agreement. We extended it to 50-year lease from a 4-year lease, renewable lease, 3 years ago. So it was a big piece for us to continue moving forward. Of course, you know about our public luge track, one of 4 tracks in the United States. And we have 3 miles of lighted cross-country ski trails, 2 acres of outdoor ice skating space, an ice skating trail through the woods, the Lake Michigan Snowshoe Trail System, our summer luge track, and now our quarter-mile dual zip line. Next slide. And next one. So as a group, I need you to participate. I want everybody to yell this out to me. Ready? I should have cued that better, but that's exactly what I hear. No. We'll try again later. We're short on time. So anyhow, I hear that every day, right? And I'm always proud and happy to share what's going on out there. So next slide. Volunteerism, a big thing for us. This is how the community started this facility. And recently, this was just last week, we had Winter Sun Schoolhouse come out. These folks have been coming out, bringing kindergartners out to the facility every year for the past 10 years and raking leaves and helping our facility get ready for winter. So, and then we just recently had the Michigan Cares for Tourism. This was a statewide effort led by Patty James at Grand Valley State University and other tourism professionals from around the state. They came in with over 70 volunteers and helped us re-sign all of our trails. They pulled back curves and did so many tasks with us that day and brought all the tools, helped us build new archery targets, just a fabulous collaboration. Dave Lorenz from Pure Michigan was there. We gave him the hardest jobs of the day. So we made sure he had a shovel in his hand. So appreciate that. So Just a few things that we're working on right now. Wellness Wednesdays. If you're looking for an opportunity to get outside, we do have, we are lighting the trails on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. But Wednesdays, we're doing guided hikes. So if you'd like an opportunity to work with or go out for a hike and learn more about our park and the ecosystem that exists there, one of our staff people will be leading those hikes 5:30. We have now the family season passes on sale. I see many family pass holders in here. Marty, yeah, you guys, a lot of great supporters of our facility through our family pass program. And our Hike the Lights, I mentioned that. So it's a great weekend activity. Get off, burn some of those carbs and kind of beat the new time change doldrums that we enter into this year. I'd like to just give a shout out to one of our title sponsor this year, Curse Disposal. They've been a great supporter. They've gifted tens of thousands of dollars over the years to our facility and all of the new improvements out there. And also provide our garbage and recycling service for free every year. So great local family company. So what we're working on now, facility development. Again, I mentioned in 2017, we worked on a program called Many Reasons for All Seasons. And we hit the ground running with that after we received approval for expanded use at the park. And we received this approval after traveling to Lansing with a delegation of Muskegon leaders and some state legislators, and we were able to get this new plan put through, allowing for over $2 million of new development at the park, blending with the current ecosystem and infrastructure to provide year-round recreation out there. And I reported a lot of this on to you last time, and it was more of a pipe dream at that time, it seemed, but we were successful in securing both $150,000 in local community support through donations, and we're able to complete phase 1 of our Canopy Trail. And it's a 1,400-foot dual zip line. And this summer, we saw over 6,000 flights in a short period of time. So it was packed, sold out, and we only ran Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. We did a field trip program with Reese Puffer during the week. We were really limited on staff as everybody else was, but we were able to launch this thing. Top speed of 30 miles per hour, max height 65 feet off the ground, and accessible to persons with disabilities, which is very close to our heart. Every venue we bring forward and bring online will have universal access out at the park there. So everything from our hiking trails, our luge, our ice skating rinks, and now our zip line are all accessible. Something we're very proud of, and I'm going to show you just a really cool experience we had this summer with a local gentleman, a student from Reese Puffer. Next slide. We were able to bring out Chase, who's been confined to a wheelchair for his entire life. And you'll see our accessible UTV that we had manufactured and produced. It was a $25,000 implement, but it works phenomenally. And we got Chase on this zip line. There was covered actually on Fox 17 and a cool news segment. And there's Chase flying through the air. And this is my favorite picture, Chase at the end with the next one right there, full of smiles and mission accomplished, right? Had a great landing. And the cool thing about this is that when we do, the principle behind universal access, throughout my lifetime, we'd always refer to it as, handicap accessible, right? The mantra of universal access is that it's same pathways and we travel together, right? So families, the students were, Chase was able to help his fellow students go up the same way on the zip line, and they all recreated the same way together. So cool experience. That one always chokes me up. And we have a video here. Might have taken Mike by surprise, but I'm ready for the video. This is a glimpse of what we have on the zip line.
Introducing year-round adventure at Muskegon Luge Adventure Sports Park. Take flight on our brand new 1,400-foot dual mega zip line, flying over 2 luge tracks from the top of a critical sand dune and through the white pine forest in Muskegon State Park. We have the only wheel luge track in America. Take aim on the archery range, challenge your family or friends at a game of Trail Quest, or hang out and camp chill. We're booking summer adventures right now. For tickets, visit msports.org or call 1-877-TRY-LUGE.
So I'd be remiss to not mention and acknowledge David Ramos for helping us with the UTVs and the golf carts. And he's just recently donated a beautiful golf cart for our facility to get folks in and around and folks with disabilities up the hill. So thanks, David. So future Canopy Trail elements will consist of rope bridges, challenge course elements, interpretive dune top trail, shorter zip lines, tree forts, et cetera, and more. So we're dreaming up some of these. We hope to bring on new additional trail components in years to come and continue building this out with the ultimate goal of having a 2-hour Canopy Trail experience for our visitors. So what's next? 2022, we are excited to announce today that we are breaking ground on the Dunes Outdoor Climbing Wall. This will be a climbing wall and ice climbing wall, truly one of its kind, and with an auto belay system. And we're very excited for this. We've been fundraising for the past 2 years for this, and we've got a board meeting Monday, and we're hoping to sign the contract and move this forward with a April start date on this project. Hopefully in time for a July 1st grand opening in 2022. Next slide, please. All right, and our archery biathlon range. I'm a little short on fundraising for this yet, but we're still hoping to break ground on this in 2022. And this will be both archery and biathlon range shooting with air rifles, not high-powered rifles. So if you're hiking out at State Park, you don't have to worry about getting shot. But next slide. Yeah. And the next one. And we touched on this. This is the crown jewel project. This will be, I guess, the final culmination of my career, maybe out at the park. If I can pull this one off, I'll rest easy at night. So this is our, you've seen this before. This is the ice skating and curling pavilion that we'd dreamed to have out at the park. And this is a facility in New York that I've modeling it after. It's just a wonderful facility, and we're excited to begin a capital campaign, hopefully the first part of 2023 for that project. And the next thing I wanted to talk about is just our operation, our people. We're really investing a lot into our people and building a culture out there, trying to pass on that enthusiasm that I've shared for the place for a long time. And excuse me, Daniel Bonner, if you know Dan, if you have an opportunity, there's a great video that was just produced. I mentioned that earlier. Get out and see this video. It really captures the scene in our community and outdoor recreation. So excited, see many faces here. A lot of you have been a part of building this dream out there. So look forward to continuing that and answering questions that you may have. Thank you. Give me a token one. There we go.
Line.
It is about a minute ride. Yep, and it is side by side, so you get to take that leap with your loved one or worst enemy, one of the two. So, Doug.
This is a question I know the answer to because you and I had a conversation about it on Halloween night when I was expressing to you that I felt like I was way too old to be flying around through the trees. How old do people, the folks that do the zip line, how old are they? You told me the story that
yes,
I'm still not sure I believe.
Can I pass the mic over to Josh Silvas for a little testimony here? Josh was not the oldest person, right?
So the first weekend in September, my grandmother celebrated her 94th birthday by ziplining at the Muskegon Adventure Sports Park. And so I can attest that not only is there great care given in the accessibility, but my grandma probably got the rush of her lifetime. She loved every second of it. They did a fantastic job.
Good, thank you.
Jim, when I heard you speak, I thought of the word champion. You've been a champion for this. What has driven you all these years to do all these things that you've continued to do to make this such a stellar place to be?
Yeah, I always ask myself that when I'm laying awake at night at 2 o'clock in the morning, getting ready for a Rotary presentation, right? So thanks, Mike, for your patience and letting me get this slideshow to you at 4 in the morning. So yeah, it's, you know, it was built in my backyard. I mean, the story is I was 12 years old. Margaret was my neighbor. They built this thing across the street from our house and it was cool. So still doing it. And tough one.
Well, Jim, I could start out with, hey, Jim, what's happening at the park?
Hey,
I won't
thank you.
do that. I'm just curious about the whole history of that property. If it's been going 37 years, obviously there was something that led to all that happening. If you could give us a little background.
Sure. So the Muskegon State Park actually, that property going back in time real quick was owned by a lumber baron. I believe it was Nelson. He donated to the city of Muskegon in the late 1800s. It was then donated by the city of Muskegon to the state of Michigan for a state park. There was a CCC camp there in the 1930s. There was the development of the Scenic Drive, which was actually supposed to go from Ludington to Holland, but that part was developed. The blockhouse was built. And then there was a toboggan run as part of that CCC camp. And a really interesting point of fact is that, trying to answer John's question a little bit more without crying, right? So is that the luge was actually selected as a site on the old toboggan run, and we're still using those same water lines that they used in the 1930s for that luge track. And the trails that were developed were the ones that were lit. So basically we just reinvented the past and made it better, and we're doing that again today. So it's just, you know, when you show up every day and you see the families, the kids, you know, everything from the inner city kids that show up that have never, you know, seen Lake Michigan or been on a pair of skis or had that opportunity. I mean, those are the things that keep us going and keep us alive and well. So, and then just the community's enthusiasm behind the facility, it's just been great. Good, thank you.
Yes, Jim, thank you for your passion and your commitment to the outdoors. It's great to hear an update. And your last presentation is one of my favorite Rotary memories of recent times. So no dancing today. We're not quite ready for snow yet, but
just think snow.
think snow. So for presenting, our club is going to make a donation to community economic development on your behalf. And thank you once again. I would be remiss. I did forget one person on the Rotary Luge team, and that's John Noling. And he very humbly, but I believe you were the anchor on the team and the glue that held it together. So brave souls, all of you. Okay, on to birthdays. We have 2 birthdays today, and one of these birthday boys is in the house. Mike Vogus and Rich Kramer's birthdays are today. Chris Colley on the 12th, Pat Wallstra on the 16th, Jeanette Hoyer on the 17th, and my dad's birthday, Len, is today as well. He's not a Rotarian, but he gets a special shout out since he's presented here a couple of times. So let's sing happy birthday. And if you're here and you have your $10, you can present it to Kathy for Caring Connection. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Okay, moving along. We are up for our 2-minute member spotlight. And this is a feature that we started this year to highlight our vocational avenue of service. And our spotlight today is here in the house. He's already been on the mic once. We're gonna learn what Josh Silvas does during his day job when he's not doing good at Rotary.
Of this wonderful club since 2012. Hi, I'm Josh Silvas. I've been a member of this wonderful club since 2012. I actually joined Rotary in part of a bargain with Jay Wallace Jr. When I became president of the board of Parties in the Park, I'd asked him to be my vice president. He was in line to be the Rotary Club president coming up shortly. And he said he'd be my VP if I agreed to join the Rotary Club when he became president. And it was a decision I made. It was a means to an end, but it turned out being a wonderful decision. I am a father of 3 wonderful boys, very lucky husband to my wife, Amy. We live in North Muskegon. I've been a Muskegon County resident my entire life. We moved to the North Muskegon area about 10 years ago. And I really enjoy coaching my son's baseball teams and flag football teams and watching them participate in just a ton of sports. And then, playing in a little bit of it myself and just generally spending time with my friends and family. I am part owner and the commercial lines manager at Shoreline Insurance Agency. And I've been actually at Shoreline for almost 19 years. I'm coming up on my 19th anniversary. It's really the only job I've ever had. And I've sold commercial insurance for Shoreline from day one. I get an awful lot more out of Rotary than I'm able to give to it. My life is very busy between work and my family. And I hope that at some point in time, I can repay Rotary for the wonderful gifts of friendship and connections in business and connections in the community that this club's given me.
All right. Well said, Josh. We have a transferring Rotarian to introduce to the club. Marianne Gorman, if you could, and Nancy could come on up.
It's really a pleasure to introduce today Nancy Johnson. Nancy serves as a hospice chaplain and bereavement counselor for Alera Hospice. She recently moved to Montague from the Kalamazoo Portage area, so she's a transfer from Portage Hospice. She's a mother of 4. All of her children are grown and all serve in different healthcare capacities. She is a lifelong learner, I believe, because she's studying for a doctorate and hopes to get her doctoral degree early next year in ministry with an emphasis on global perspectives. And a shout out to everybody in the club that's interested in global service. When she worked with the folks at the Kalamazoo Rotary, she, in the early 2000s, did a trip to Nicaragua, which focused on clean water. So please welcome Nancy Johnson to Muskegon.
Welcome, Nancy. Marianne did that all from memory. I'm super impressed because I have 7 pages of notes just to get through the meeting here. They are color coded if you ever seen it. It's quite a system. All right, well, I have a privilege of a first, at least in my time in recent memory. We are going to do a club resolution. If I could have Brianna Scott come up here and join me at the podium. So the way this is going to work is our district governor, Gary Chenoweth, threw down a challenge when he visited us last month. And he said, you can come right over here. You want to stay that far away? Okay. we know what you look like. All right, so he threw down a challenge. He said that Muskegon Rotary has not had a district governor since either the 50s or the 80s. There was some debate out there. And our club heard that, and Brianna is putting her name forward for district governor consideration. So what we have to do is I'm going to read this resolution, and I'm going to ask for a vote, and you all are going to vote your heart and your conscience, and we'll move this thing along. So let me get this started. This is a resolution from Rotary Club of Muskegon, Michigan, forwarding the nomination of Rotarian Brianna Scott to be considered for District 6290 Governor for the year 2023-24. Whereas Rotary District 6290 has requested its clubs to submit names to be considered for district governor for the year 23-24. And whereas Brianna Scott is a member in good standing of the Rotary Club of Muskegon, Michigan, and the integrity of whose classification is a member in good standing is without question. And whereas Rotarian Brianna Scott has been a member of one or more Rotary clubs for at least 7 years and served as president of the Rotary Club of Muskegon, July 1, 2014 to June 30th, 2015. Whereas Brianna Scott can demonstrate the willingness, commitment, and ability, physically and otherwise, to fulfill the duties and responsibilities of the governor as provided in section 16-090 of the Rotary International Manual of Procedure. I'm hitting the home stretch, 2 more paragraphs. And whereas Rotarian Brianna Scott intends to spend the majority of her time within the district for a 3-year period immediately following the term of office as district governor as requested by Article 2, Section 1A of the Rotary District 6290 Manual of Procedure. Be it resolved that the Rotary Club of Muskegon, Michigan, at its club meeting held on the 11th day of November 2021, by vote of the members, has afforded the integrity said to this Rotarian and her qualification for the office of district governor, and forwards her name to the District 6290 nominating committee. Can I have a motion? A motion by Jim Fisher and a second by pretty much all the club, John Nolan. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. All right, Brianna, thank you very much. You want to say something? Okay. Thank you, Brianna. Yes, we're keeping our distance. Okay, we got more announcements. Kathy Brubaker Clark and Ginny Sprague, if you could come on up. We've got an exciting announcement from the DEI committee, and Ginny's gonna let us in on one of the many things in her wheelhouse today. So Kathy, if you want to go first, and then Ginny. Kathy and Kathy. If your name is Kathy, you can make this announcement.
Well, thank you. Kathy Betts and I, Kathy is co-chair along with me as co-chair of our new Rotary Peace Builder Club. You may not know we are now a Peace Builder Club. So we're here to announce that we do have a short video that we intended to show in a couple slides, but we will have those next week for you. But we still wanted to go ahead with our announcement today. So what you would have seen on the first slide, that the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee was trying to come up with ways, especially in these difficult times with political division and COVID and other issues, of how do we really show love lives here, which is our motto. And one of the things we started looking at is there's a group, and I'd encourage anybody to go online and look at it, Braver Angels, which is a national group that includes blue and red, where the folks debate things, talk about things, listen to each other, and show that we really can work together and listen to each other and be friends together. We may not always agree, but we need to listen to each other. And we really like that concept. In fact, I joined up with them and some others did as well. But as we were looking at the possibility of getting more involved with them, we found that there were several Rotary clubs that were peace builder clubs. And a lot of them were also included with Braver Angels, but the Peace Builder Club is actually a Rotarian initiative. I credit Doug Woods with leading the way with this, looking into it, bringing more information to us. He actually requested from the board, the Rotary board, that we be able to apply to become a Peace Builder Club. And that was taken to the board. Thank you, Rotary board. It was approved. And we submitted the papers. Doug asked that I chair it. I'm thankfully Kathy agreed to co-chair. I said I'd be happy to do it along with someone. And we were recently approved. So thank you. We're excited. And I'd like to just let you know our current members, and if you're here, if you could please stand up. Kathy Betts, of course, and myself, Doug Woods, and Aslan Scott. I know she was going to try to join by Zoom. Andy Bulow, Contessa Hood, Jim Schultz, Kate Castellut Scarborough, Kelly Richards, who fortunately for him, unfortunately for us, is going to be moving on soon, but he's been a committee member. Nancy McCarthy and Jane Klingman Scott. So thank you all, committee members. Just to let you know what some of the responsibilities as a Peace Builder Club, which we will have. Number one is educate and empower, and that includes Rotarians, interactors, Rotaractors, regarding peace building, utilizing principles of the Rotary Peace Academy and other sources. And there's an 8-pillar positive peace that you'll see on the slide next week that goes into several of what those things mean. And it's also recognizing peace building in all 6 areas of the Rotarian areas of focus, which we should all be somewhat familiar with, but those are on the slide as well. And this includes providing training for our club members. The second is engage and sponsor at least one club peace building activity a year, which can be a variety of different things we would do there. And number 3 is to raise the profile. And that is by doing something at least once a year to increase public awareness. Could be raising a peace pole. We thought about Rotary Park, sponsoring student peace art or a video competition, or holding a peace conference. And we aren't to that point yet. We're doing our research and we're all going through the modules that are being presented as part of the Peace Academy. So we can kind of set up a list of things we want to be doing for 2022. So we believe that through our designation as a Peace Builders Club, we can help bring peace through our relationships with each other, with our community and beyond. We want to invite all Rotarians to learn more about this process by watching, you'll see the one video, the module next week at the Rotary Club, but then we hope by January to set up, and Kathy's working on that end, probably in one of the rooms here at the hotel prior to the Rotary meetings, maybe once or twice a month, we'll show one of the modules, and they're only 3 minutes to 15 minutes. And so like a half hour before club meeting, anybody that wants to come and watch one of the modules can come and we'll, till we get through them all, that'll be available to all of you. You can also go online and look at them if you want to do that on your own. So they are relatively short. Also, I want to encourage anybody that's interested, maybe our new Rotarian that was introduced today, that wants to join our committee. Again, we are a subcommittee really of DEI for now. So it's part of that whole process, but you can just join the Peace Builder Club committee. You can be on both, or you could just be on one. So with that, we'll continue to update you in the future and be bringing speakers to you. And I appreciate your time. Oh, also on your, it's not in color, but on your tables, there is just a brochure that kind of gives you the basics about the Peace Builder Club. So please take one with you. Thank you.
Hello. I'd also like to thank Marianne and Nancy for introducing the theme of my announcement, which is global service being an important part of your Rotary membership. You might think of Veterans Day, Thanksgiving for November, but November is Rotary Foundation Month. And this is a good time of year for us to think about the Every Rotarian Every Year campaign. This is a way that Rotary members can financially support the programs of the Rotary Foundation. Our Muskegon Rotarians are very generous with your time, talent, and treasure, giving to our local community and sporting projects here. But this is your chance to extend your reach out globally. Every year, we try to improve the number of people that contribute to Every Rotarian Every Year. And I thank all of you who have supported us. And every year I have my aspirational goal of 100% participation. And this is just donating what you can. There's no specified amount. Any contribution, of course, will help. There are brochures. This will be sent along with the RIM, I hope. That's the plan. There's a few out on the table, but this is the brochure. This is an evidence of the Rotary is a good steward of your money. They stopped printing brochures and said, you can print them out yourself. So this is what you get. Anyway, and I'm also available to answer any questions you might have or to help you with this. And I just would welcome and appreciate your support of the Rotary Foundation and all the good that it does in the world. Thank you.
All right, Aaron Bozart passed along. We have our last food truck of the year happening on the 17th. So that's a week from yesterday at Temple Methodist Church in the Heights. And we have half of the 16 people that we need committed. So see Aaron for more details. There'll be more information in the RIM. And we hope that we can fill out and get this last community service project done and done to the caliber that our club is accustomed to. Also, next week is your opportunity. Do people know about the purple pinkies for polio? Say that 10 times fast. Mona Shores Interact will be at our meeting next week, and it's an opportunity for you to show your support, and all donations to the End Polio Now Fund will be tripled by the Gates Foundation. So come on out next week to our club meeting. The Mona Shores Interactors will be here, and you can get your pinky purpled for polio. Say that 10 times fast. Okay, Clydesdales today. Who's gonna go check out the Clydesdales? Okay, well, come a half hour later than you planned because they've been delayed a half hour because of the rain. 4:30 p.m. You can see the world famous Clydesdales here in downtown Muskegon, and thank you United Way and Tyler Sales for making that happen. Lastly, I have an exciting announcement. When we did our recent club survey, 60% of you said that signing up by Friday has led to you coming to less Rotary meetings. So we passed on that feedback to the Delta, and they have agreed to extend the deadline to Monday end of business. So starting after Thanksgiving, you can get your RSVP in by Monday end of business, and hopefully that'll lead to even more folks being here in person. All right, who's got our raffle today? Is this Josh Silvas? Kevin Donovan, big winner. Shonda, $5. All right, that brings us to the conclusion of our meeting. Thank you, Jim, Marjorie, John, Sabrina, Adam, Robert, Grace, and welcome Nancy to our club. Next week, our program will be our first committee palooza. If you're wondering what a committee palooza is, you won't want to miss next week. We're going to learn about what some of our committees are doing out there to spread the good word of Rotary. All right, if everyone could please stand, we're going to do the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Enjoy the rest of your week.